Hello. That's it. All right. Is it up yet? No, not yet. Always takes like 30 seconds. No, still not yet. Okay. This one should be good though. No? Almost. Stop. Activate. There we go. What's up? All right. It's been a while since I've been on here. Welcome. Okay, so we got a Impala that we're going to be doing. 35 and 20. Let me take these over to this side. Taping up some seals. Mobile cart today. We're gonna buy, we're gonna buy a file for tinting. So far I just like the needle files best. That's worth searching in our group though. Look for like a bastard cut file, but I really like the fine needlepoint ones. You can even sneak those in the top corners with like framing in the way. Love your channel, thank you. Ooh, we should get the watch set up. Can I still do that? Yeah, Tint class is going on right now. Oops, we're locked. Where's the... There we go. Keys. I think we got pretty much everything all set to go. Other side's taped. Wipe that off. Oops. Turn that down. Where's the off button? Doesn't that do it? Oh, okay, it is off. Cut my tint on the door, but it didn't come out to be the right size. Any tips? Tack it down more. It likely slid. So soapy water, when you put pressure on the sides, it's very easy for the film to just slide away from where you placed it. Also, when you roll the window up or down to cut a top edge, it can shift. So it's probably one of those things. But in between cuts, you have to loosen up the film. It'll take a little bit more time, but you can tack it to the window so it doesn't move. All right, so we're gonna do 35 in the front. We're doing C2 ceramic. Oh, it's hard to read that far. I even have newer glasses. What up? 35 in the front, 20 in the rear, C2 ceramic. Get a new blade too. No more shutting down the shop for classes. It is on Wednesday and Thursday. Today, for whatever reason, didn't get blocked off in the same way. So we only had a set of doors this morning, and the next thing I knew, there was a full car on the schedule. And it's like, that's okay. Definitely a customer car. It's hard to turn down a full car when it pops on your schedule. It's like Impala. Yeah, we can make that work. Trim that side. Loosen this back up, slide it over. Oh, so I kind of glossed over it too. I was saying you can tack a pattern. So right now it's loose, so I can shift this back and forth. But I can also just take my squeegee, lock that in place. And so now when I make a cut over on this side, it's not gonna shift. It's just gonna stay right here. So it's a really good way of ensuring everything is cut exactly where you need it. But then if we wanna move it, shoot some water back there, make sure it fills in where you tacked, and then we can slide the film back and get that overlap that we need. So if I have too much soap in my bottle, or, you know, a window seems extra slidey for whatever reason, I'll definitely tack stuff down. There we go. But pressure, it'll make sure it sticks. Let's roll this down. Top edge blade still looking good. I haven't had an Impala in a while. Used to do these all the time. Impalas and Malibus. Switch squeegees? I did. I'm using the new Blue Max from Fusion. They say it's the same. I don't think it's the same. I think it's different. They're just better about quality control now is what they're saying. Which I can definitely appreciate. It's super good. If you like the hybrid blade, you'll really like the new Blue Max. The flat out? Yeah, the flat out was my favorite for a long time. Still a very good squeegee blade. I like the hybrid better. But I think the hybrid's going to be a little bit softer than the flat out. Like my brother over there, he likes the Blue Beast, and I'm not much of a fan of the Blue Beast personally. Really appreciate the tips. I'm just a girl trying to pimp a ride. Absolutely, ask whatever questions you need. How did your films peel that easily? Well, it was two patterns back to back, held together with a little soapy water. So they're not stuck together. Orange Crush? Orange Crush is good. It's a little softer. And I wasn't a huge fan of how it wears, but like we're splitting hairs on some of them. So the Orange Crush is really good. The Blue Max is really good. The Hybrid's really good. The Flat Out's really good. You can't go wrong with any of them. I struggle with peeling the clear film every time. Well, it makes you feel better. Only in recent years have I gotten really good at peeling it with my fingernail. I just, like, I've had to use my teeth for the longest time. So I'll take the... Can I switch? Is it this one? Okay. So, piece of film here. I take it, and I just shift it in my teeth, and I use my tongue a little bit too. So, like that. But take a swatch. Take like a bunch of little swatches. And like just practice it over and over and over again. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's some panel. Looks like you're really busy today. We are. We have a tint class going on. Hopefully this will stick better now. I need a TV over here. Oh, this sticks fine. Nice. Learn how to tint in 1 week? What? That's crazy. My dad's in the class right now? Oh, nice. Sorry, I missed that part. What don't we offer? A tape with plastic? Oh, it's definitely there. 313 tint. We call it panel guard. Why don't you just take the door apart way faster? Not for me, it's not. Some people are very proficient at taking doors apart. Some people are proficient at leaving everything together. How much do you charge for a car? It depends on the film and how much work we're doing. So this is all the sides and the rear. This is $350. See, peeled it with my teeth. Preferred tint percent? You must be out of your mind. Oh, hang on one sec. Let me rinse this. $350, you're out of your mind. Okay. Tuck this in there. You don't get a lot of room on the front edge of an Impala, but you get enough. Make sure that we line this up nice and close. Let's check where our cuts are on the outside. Go a little bit more forward. Yep, you can definitely find them cheaper. I can get a cheap car, I can get an expensive car. There's ranges and different areas that people live, and that's okay. All right, we got that all lined up. Let's roll this up. Flush this out. $350 for ceramic is not bad. No, especially around this area. We're definitely not the most expensive, but we're not the cheapest either. Let's get this tucked in. Subwoofers? No. No, I just do tint. Back when I was going to aviation school, I was a lot more interested in car electronics, though. I was doing my own subs. in a fiberglass case in a 93 Buick Century. We were putting 15s in it. And then I got rear-ended. Talking about price gets really annoying. Because they'll have a bunch of people that are peeved at what we charge, no matter what we charge. And they can get it cheaper, and then there's people that are like, wow, that's fine. And then there's people that are like, I charge way more than that. And that's okay. That's the thing. There's a range. Tint X? Yeah, of course. I get asked about it so many times every stream. It's not exactly super user-friendly when you're starting out from a shrinking perspective, but it's definitely a very competitive film. I just learned a long time ago, be careful about trying to get the least expensive product possible. Film costs are not the most expensive thing about tinting a car. It's always your time, your space. Tint X Carbon is pretty easy. When you get more familiar with it, I've seen a lot of people try early on and not have a good time. Pure Max is better, but it's not as easy. How can I tell a good shop from a bad shop in my area? Reviews and friends and family are generally like the best way to tell actual examples of their work. But it's such an individualized skill. Some shops are gonna have a few installers. Sometimes they'll only have, the owner is the installer. So it's unfortunately tough to tell. Because at the end of the day, one or two people are gonna be installing it. And they might be new, they might be less skilled, they might not care. But hopefully the shop as a whole will make it good. I'm all right. No. Oh, you know what? Water. I'll take not cold. But if that's all that's there, that's okay. I live off coffee and I forget water's a thing. Slide that over. Make a cut here. Thank you. Tinting Impala is like riding a bike. It's just a car I've done so many times. But we might find a way to screw it up. I need a TV here. I'm too far away from my screens. So far.
Until I started saying mean stuff.
Well, we discussed price for a little bit, and then it's like, that's outrageous. And some people are like, oh, that seems fine.
And then somebody chimes in to ask why you're putting this in on the outside.
Yeah, I think that just happened. Little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. There we go. Did 350 include the windshield? No, that was the sides and the rear. With the windshield in this film, we'd be 550. Why the outside? There it is. That didn't take long. We're getting a template. And then once we get that, we'll stuff it on the inside, which is far easier to get our templates and mold it to fit the shape. Be near impossible to do that on the inside. Gets all crunched up and shitty. Of course, a back windshield. So 350 is all the sides and the rear. Are you doing a razor on the glass? Stainless steel, soft pressure, and we're only doing the corners. Usually do it on a peel board. I gotta get that one finished. I need a glass piece. It's right there. I gotta get that ordered. Oh, it's not even up. Oh, there it is. How do you peel the tint off so easily? We haven't stuck it. So those were two patterns that were just soapy water clung together, that's all. So they separate really easily. Can you show us what you look for when you're snap shrinking a window? So I look for this. There's a little bit of tension, but you're not shrinking the window a ton. Like there's not a lot to shrink here. If the window's curved, obviously we're gonna do it more. But I want everything to basically like snap down to the window. And then see if we squeegee it, do we have any fingers at the bottom? Oh no, there is one. So then we just snap it a little bit farther. Ta-da! So now it's all set, ready to install. Once we get a door panel cover on here. Why'd you use a heat gun? Because the glass has a curve to it, and the film needs to fit that same shape. Is a heat gun necessary? Yes. Does removing panels make it easier? Yes, removing obstacles will make the installation easier. So, class, for example, once they come back from lunch, there's going to be 2 examples on installation. One is the easier method, which is bottom loading, and one is the harder method, which is what we're doing right now. It's just, this has more steps. And it takes longer to learn. If I pull the bottom seal, that makes it far easier to just get the tint installed. It just comes down to knowing how to pull seals, which on some vehicles like this one, probably not going to be very difficult. But I only learned this way of tinting early on. So there's so many vehicles that are very easy for me to tint without removing anything. And so I just continue to keep doing that. Yesterday we had a Lexus where we pulled the front doors and bottom load that one. So it's not that I never do it, it's just I rarely have to. Get this side up here first. We're gonna roll this in gently, slide it forward. Why do you stick there? There we go. See how far we have to go over. We're gonna match this corner up. And then pull it back in this direction. The handy handle? I didn't like how thick it was. I have an alternative to it. This one here. The reach around. I gotta put a pink clean back in here, I think. That looks, look at that. Look at how pretty that looks. You located in Detroit? Yes. I'm not in Detroit, Metro Detroit, Sterling Heights. Pull that up, peel this out. Spray, and then tuck. Geo? Yep. Yeah, this is their C2 ceramic. Heat gun for Wrangler windows. I'd still use it. If you're popping bottom seals, you don't have to use it as much. But seals, they hold water, and it's easy to cause a section to bunch up a little bit, which pops up a finger. The way you tint, the customer won't be able to put the windows down for a couple days. I'll tell you, It's harder to convince my customers that it's okay to roll their windows down right away. I don't care if they roll them down right away. For a time, I said they can roll them down right away. And every customer said, I'll leave them up just to make sure. You're taking too long for tint. Well, it's okay. Trying to make sure it turns out well. I mean, that's one reason we charge accordingly. So. We like have it on a schedule and we plan out how long it's gonna take. One thing I'm not trying to do is rush through as many appointments in a day as possible. There are plenty of places that do that. I'm not one of them. How long does it take to tint? This one all around with the backlash. Couple hours. Any way to get bubbles out? No. Gotta get retinted, unfortunately. I know. They finish their tint appointments early and they have time to scroll my feed and hound me about taking too long. Yeah, Dawn's super common. It's not recommended. You can get bubbles out if you cut the bubbles out. We need to amputate. Is cold weather bad for tint? No, it just takes longer to dry. It can be below freezing and it'll still dry out. But you don't want to leave a lot of moisture behind because then it'll take weeks. But it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside, we'll tint anyways. So year round. What soap do you use? I use a soap called Tint Slip. I used baby shampoo years ago. It's still fine. I didn't like it for Geo though. I didn't find it was slick enough. Do you guys teach it all? Yeah, we're actually hosting a class. We have 4 people here. That's what those cars are. Have you thought about using Ryan Reen's new slip and grip that you can use as a gel? No, I don't know anything about it. There's a lot of different slip solutions now. So it's just hard to know what's worth the time. So like the gel, up till now, there's been people using it for a handful of years. It didn't really catch my attention until like last couple months when it just like, there's a lot more discussion and explanations and stuff. You know, gel wars are obnoxious. I don't care what people use. It's helpful. Is this 2-ply or something? One on the outside, one on the inside. I've never heard it said like that. So it all goes on the inside. It's just like we got to get a shape and we got to size it and form it. So once we do that, we clean the inside and then it gets installed on the inside. It's okay, it'll get there. And it's gonna happen in a few seconds. Mom's spagelli. I like it. I don't plan on coming out with my own. There's usually a reason for all the products that I have. It's like I either can't find the right solution, so we like something and we tweak it. Like the reason Tint Slip exists, the only 2 slip solutions at the time were slime or all-type. Both of them I hated for Geo. They just weren't slick enough. So that's why Tint Slip is a thing. So for gels, like we brought in Instagel. And it ticks all the boxes. It works really well. It's economical. It dries nice. So I don't see a reason to try and just simply replace it. We'd have to try and make it substantially better. The only thing I've seen that makes it a little bit better is genuinely like sauce is thicker, and I like that. But it's really cost prohibitive. I like important sauce, but I'm gonna try this stuff because it's, yeah, exactly. It's 1/4 of the cost. So it's got its place. It's cool. The only other concerning thing that we noticed is like at the end of each stream, I sprayed an example on the glass board when we came in the next day, and important sauce leaves a white powder residue behind. So you just want to make sure that you do a good job of cleaning it up, or else you're gonna leave some type of white powder on somebody's interior, so just be careful. Instagel or Important, they're both good. What leaves white? Too much. What leaves white powder? Important sauce leaves white powder behind. I don't think in between the film. But like we just sprayed. So this has happened twice though. So people were asking questions about it, and so I sprayed it on the glass board over there, and then it dried out overnight, and then the area that we sprayed Important, it left a white powder behind. So when you use it, just make sure everything's wiped down and you're not gonna have an issue. At least I don't think. Yesterday when you had trouble with a Ford truck, would it have been easier to just roll the film vertically? It's not something I've personally ever tried. It's a lot wider than it is taller. And then there's this curve with the windshield. So I'd be worried about messing it up way more by doing that. I think it's possible on the right back window. I think a windshield on a truck might be a little bit of a tall order to do that. I was just working around the mirror though. Is it same day service? Yeah. Yeah, this is only gonna be here for like up to 3 hours at the most. It got dropped off at, time is it? It's 12:40. It was an 11:30 appointment, so we had it in here for like an hour. Well, customer's been here for an hour. Ooh, do we have enough? We will find out. Well, I don't have much space here. I will show you how to make thicker sauce with a blender for cheaper. What are you adding? I have a few powder chemicals over there and like a little chemical mixer. I bought it months ago. Not quite. Let me go grab a new roll. There was a couple Chinese videos like 3 or 4 months back. And so I started looking into stuff. I haven't really tried these very much, but you can mix these just in water. So I took this, added like a tablespoon in a Zep bottle, and it made gel. I just didn't add any additives to it. But you can use something like this. This like spins this around. It's a magnetic stirrer. But I didn't go very far with it. What amenities do you offer for waiting customers? Magazines, a pool. I want a pool. Oh, door cover. That's what I came over here for. We have drinks and some snacks up front. Nothing crazy. Just a nice, spacious waiting area. We have a Keurig up front, and we try and keep snacks and water and some like sodas in the fridge. Wi-Fi. How many cars do you tint a day? Typically up to 2. Some days get a little crazy. But I like to schedule an appointment and time to be able to do these lives as often as I can. All the gel is thick water. Well, sometimes there's more. I don't know enough about it as a whole. But when I looked into it, there can definitely be additives that'll help things dry faster, slide better. But there's thickening agents. So, wow, I do not want this to fall off. Let's put you right there. So those 2 powders that I had there, they're for cosmetics. They're for like thickening, like a nail polish, right? Because it's got to have like a certain consistency. So gels, the way that they're made, like a craft glue, for example, it's largely going to be water. But it'll have some type of thickening agent in it. So it's just figuring out what's safe for window tint or PPF, and you get the right consistency. So like in the case of Instagel, it's intentionally not super thick. It could have been, but its main purpose was for PPF, not for window tint. But it works for both, and you can absolutely make your own. I just don't know as much about it right now. Oops. Wow, yeah, I really don't have much room here. But I got enough. Why do you not use the Apex Ultra? Why do you not think we use the Apex Ultra? Because we're not using it on this car? We absolutely use it. It's just it depends on if they pay for it. I gotta stay within whatever the customer's budget is, though. Oh, it's so nice. Look how close that got. You guys see that? You see that edge? Where's that edge? Much for an Apex Ultra full SUV. Everything with a windshield 650. You still need to shrink pre-cut film? Yes, absolutely. When we have a pattern, you can look at that as pre-cut. We still shrink it. So a plotter is not magic. It literally just cuts out the shape that you need, and you still need the curvature. There we go. We're gonna peel this back. Ew, look at that. That's why I taped side seals, my God. Ugh. My favorite part is when we wax the seals. Couple little pinches that we're gonna push out. Aloe vera, fragrance free, mixed with water. Aloe vera, fragrance free. What is that? What's the major differences between installing window tint versus vinyl? Vinyl's very forgiving, and it's soft and stretchy. So it's just it's a completely different animal. Yes, it's a film, but you're taking a material and you're stretching it and pulling it over a surface. Window tint, you're kind of doing the opposite. You still want to stretch it over the surface, but you're shrinking it to fit the curve rather than pulling it and stretching it. All right, so we gotta clean this. Look at these. Look at these defroster lines. Yummy. Ooh, we need a scrub pad. Let's go get a scrub pad and a squeegee.
All down here at the bottom. Whatever you do at the bottom is just going to kind of distribute itself kind of throughout the whole window. So
Now let's turn the key off. We got a back window and some quarter windows, and then this one will be a wrap. I love these flip keys. I miss these so much.
And so once I get to a point where there's not really anything popping up anymore, here's one more.
Oh, scrub pad.
do that. So you see that shape. Keep your heat down at the bottom. No reason to really.
I can tell.
As soon as you get to a point where you don't really see these anymore, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of lift this at the bottom, and we're sort of just gonna repeat the process once. But you'll start to notice. So these are starting to come.
Where are you located? Sterling Heights, Detroit Tint Studio. Fraser, not too far. That's a little drive. We could definitely do your charger. I miss doing chargers. We don't see enough of those anymore. They used to be as hot of a topic as like the Model 3s are. Model 3s kind of took over that.
Just go back and forth until I kind of see that whole shape in there, just that whole circle.
So we're gonna scrub this down. Most annoying thing about the Impala, in my opinion, is this third brake light, but we don't need to remove it. We can work around it. We're gonna cover it, but we're gonna be able to pull it back and tint underneath it. Gives us just enough room.
If it were like this, and I just flipped it, and it kind of just fell back flat like that, like if it just stuck back.
You guys are like 10, 15 minutes away. Oh, look at that algorithm working hard. Nice, we can definitely do it. Retint on the front 2 windows and a windshield. Nice.
The last thing that
For sure.
now that I see that curve is there, and there's a lot of friction in that.
Daniel really putting in work. Oh yeah, he's running the classes. He's doing great.
And I'm just gonna squeeze all this out. And I can just double check here at the bottom. I can just look across the whole thing and I don't see anything.
What's the white tape for? So a couple reasons. I don't like to drag a blade all the way around a back window or a windshield without some type of protection. So we cut directly on the tape, and that's gonna ensure that we don't scratch up a back window.
Side as opposed to up and down. It's not really made to do that. So let's see. This is sideways.
But it's also white. So some people refer to this now as guide tape.
Hey, somebody about this side. So why don't you ask them to do that? Should I go ahead and do that?
Could you just throw me a number now or no? It's 2014 Charger. Yeah, for sure. So if we're doing all the sides in the rear, no windshield, we can do it as low as $299 for our carbon film. The film that we're installing now would be $350. That's our C2 ceramic, and then our best Apex ceramic, which is 2 layers of ceramic in one film, would be $450. And then those same films, if we're doing a full vehicle with windshield, would be $450 for carbon, $550 for single layer ceramic, and $650 for dual layer ceramic. Reminds me of the good old days when I didn't have much space. Dryer sheet's gonna help us with shrinking. Expel a good film? Yeah, they have good films. What are you guys' hours? Typically like 10 to 4. But you can schedule an appointment on our site, or you can just call us and we'll help you get that scheduled. But we have a booking calendar so you can see what appointment slots that we have available. What do you think is the best film on the market? I mean, I think GeoShield's lineup is awesome. I think there's other companies that are going to have very competitive products, but I don't think anybody's going to have a better product. There's nothing that I'm missing by using Geo. The dryer sheet needs to be dry, so I'm speeding that up a little bit. And then we're gonna put film on there. I do have something else that I can do. So I can do these quarter windows, but I don't have any film. But I can get these taped, I can get the inside cleaned.
Now there's a lot extra. So now when I click it, it doesn't want to pull back down. So that's about what I'm looking for there. And then I'm just going to double check once again. See if I have any contact in here. And looks good. Looks like I don't have. So
Nice. Let's grab a towel.
So I'm going to go ahead and set both of these up to install.
A towel. I should have a bulldozer. Yeah, I put back window tools in there.
And on this front door,
Pull these headrests. We're gonna take a towel, we're gonna cover some of this. Would a 30-degree carbon steel blade help me cut the window better? 30-degree carbons are super nice. Carbon blades are very sharp, and it's a harder metal. We have something that I think is a little better. We have thin carbon steel blades, and we use a plastic blade holder. Call it the Ninja Blade. That would be this right here. So carbon steel, but probably half the thickness. So this is like paper thin. They dull out fast, but they just snag less. Really easy to cut a top edge of the window. And we like it in a plastic blade holder. So you push the blade holder right against the tint, and it's plastic so it doesn't scratch. This is a super nice job cutting. It's part of our toolkit for students. Tips on building clientele. Treat all your customers really well, obviously. You could set up some type of referral program, but run ads. Looks like your kit for students is super nice and thorough. Thank you. Yeah, I like to think so. It's basically just like we want an answer for everything. So when you're here to practice, it's like, oh yeah, use this, and then use this, and then use that. And so we just made it part of the class from the beginning, so you didn't have anything to worry about. Purpose of the class is not to sell you a bunch of tools. And it's kind of funny because towards the end of the class, some people are like, all right, so what should I get? And it's like, here's a couple things that are helpful, but not necessary. All right, let's grab some film. How many cars do you get in the winter? Oh, it depends on the week. I mean, that goes with any week. Some weeks will just like completely fall off and some will stay overly busy. Say we're less good at being a busy tint shop though. Do you need to take out this brake light? No, you can actually work around it. I just pull it back. I have a little trick for tucking them in. Because it kind of gets in the way some. I heard it's better to tint in the summer because it cures quicker. I mean, that's true. It cures quicker just because there's more heat to dry out your windows. But I could tint your car in the winter and the summer. And after a week, you wouldn't be able to tell me which was tinted in the winter or the summer. Both of them are going to dry out fine. Both of them are going to look awesome. They're going to be zero difference. Just a little more inconvenience on dry time, and that really depends on the window. Sometimes they just dry out quick. Sometimes just a little bit longer. Why are you tinting the outside of the window? Just decided to do something different today. Ooh, tinting a Dodge Charger as your first window, the back window? Yikes. That's just a tough window. Film's gonna be part of it, but that's gonna be a very hard window to tackle. Even with a good film, for just like a very new person. I have videos on the channel, like the Dodge Charger for the longest time was the hardest common back window. We had questions about them all the time. Now I think the Model 3 has taken that place. But if you can shrink a Dodge Charger back window, you can shrink most anything. There's still probably people that are going to chime in and say Corvette or VW Bug. Those are harder. They're less common. November through February are my slowest times. Yeah, it makes sense. It's winter. There's less people looking at doing stuff to their cars. And then things get nice and people like spring cleaning, right? Running ads. Staying on top of a marketing campaign year round. You don't want to be reactionary to the slow times. You want to stay proactive in year-round stuff. So when it comes to your slower seasons, they're not going to be as slow as they typically are. How are you in these months? Slower. Definitely slower. We still have appointments on the schedule, though. We still get leads every day. But I'm still running ads. So I started running ads in February this year. And there's a clear difference between getting more ads in the summertime, but we still get leads. The Union Agency, they own Union Window Films and like the Tint School and stuff. I posted in my group that I was looking for a company to help with ads, and they messaged me. They've done a really good job. I don't have anybody really to compare them to. I would like to change the funnel some because I feel like it could be improved. It's a little generic for me. So I would like to see maybe some improvement for that. Because like I just look at it from a customer perspective. To me, it feels very, very generic. But they said typically it's got this close rate and blah 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 blah. So we've ran with it. It definitely helps. He's not actually tinting the outside. Shh, don't tell them. If you tint it, they will come. Don't they need to be here for you to tint it, though? I plotter cut it, and they're still not here. So I'm cutting directly on the tape line. That keeps my blade from dragging around the window.
Right. Yeah. So this method will work on 90% of the cases. And the actual the camera will be sitting on there, a little bit more expensive.
Oh, it definitely takes time. Dude, it's literally something I do almost every day. There's a lot of things that I do not near as good as I tint. Is it a question about union films? I could ask them. I just don't know much. There's a lot of brands. And I'm sure their films are fine. And they seem like great people. They're a little less expensive from what I hear, but I'm not really... I'm in a good spot. I don't have a reason to change. So like if there was a real good reason to switch film companies, I obviously would. But there's nothing that I would be gaining by purely using somebody else's film. I mean, XPEL would be better marketing. The rolls would cost, I don't know, 50 to 80% more. And then I gotta raise my prices just to stick with a brand. I don't really see a point in doing that. Plus, I'm not an ideal XPEL business. We're not doing paint protection film. We're not doing coatings. I'd be, there's other territories here that are doing a little bit more than that. I tried Union's film, never bought a second roll. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about them. I mean, the one reason I even started with JO in the beginning is that, like, Global was like, man, I had done some soul searching through window film brands, And I wanted just a very nice linear upgrade. But I did not want, like I get asked all the time, what films do you use, what films do you use, what films do you use? And I could have signed on with like a Lumar or a 3M, but those are brands for a lot of businesses that are doing a little bit more in volume. Not for something, not for somebody that's just like, yeah, I'm looking into getting into window film, not shelling out like 3 to 5 grand in sign-on costs. So that had something to do with it. And I've always felt like a lot of those brands don't carry as much weight as installers put on them. So they'll spend 30, 40, 50, 60% and more on just getting a brand, and they'll sell it at the same prices that I'm selling. Geo's problem is purely awareness. They have awesome films. I'm not missing anything by using them as far as just pure performance goes. But there are brands that just absolutely carry more weight. So I can respect it, but man, you can only imagine how many people would call Lumar and then just basically get miffed off the phone because you're not worth their time. All right, so we're gonna tint around this brake light. We're covering it, but we have to work around it. Have you ever used Rogue? No. I like Geo better. I'm sure Rogue is fine. Rogue is a Solar Effects brand. Solar Effects has territories and a buy-in. Like a lot of other bigger protected brands. So they have some exclusivity. Rogue is their way of selling everybody window film. I mean, you're seeing quite a few territorial companies all of a sudden switch over to this model. Is because they want to sell more rolls of film, obviously. So Geo was already in that position when I was starting with them. They were already like a attractive film company. They were just less known. So by trying a Rogue, by trying a Tint Club, I mean, I like Geo's branding a little bit better than Rogue personally. Kind of like the way I look at, I don't know, like Viper's cool as a car alarm brand, but Rogue is a window film brand. It's all right. It's definitely not as bad as Tint Club's. Tint Club, like the branding looks nice, but saying I use Tint Club is just kind of silly. But I wouldn't be gaining anything by using them. It would just be an alternative to what I'm using now, which is totally fine, but it's just not for me. Tintax is rebranding to UV Run. Some sort of legal thing. But no, they don't really have a great brand. They're okay, but like they're just an economical film company. I'd be getting an overall worse product by moving to them. Brand yourself and business name, not a window film company. Yeah, that's what most people, most customers are attracted to. I mean, a more savvy shopper is gonna do research into film brands. So it matters more now than it used to, but there's only a handful of companies that are really holding that spot. You have Lumar, you have 3M, and you have Expel. And you might have a Ceramic Pro as part of the conversation. Most of the time, if you scroll any window film forum group that's just got general consumers in it, they're all asking about those. I'm trying to hold this and squeegee this all. Ooh. Left hand is not as strong. This we call the Slim Sweep. It's a very thin 10-inch putty knife paddle or something like that. I don't know. It just fits. Like, look how slim that is. So it just goes, it'll stuff all the way behind the brake light. It'll go all the way down into the edge of the deck lid. And then the bulldozer has an actual squeegee blade. So this is for spreading out the film. This will help me squeegee out bubbles. All right, one more time. First pass. It's probably something we should have called it instead. Why don't you remove the brake light? I can work around it. It's take me too long to remove the brake light. Screws are kind of annoying to get to. So, a while ago I was like, fuck it, I'll just work around it. You know what? It works great. But some of them get removed. What's the best Fusion squeegee blade? It's a toss-up for me between the hybrid and the new reimagining of the Blue Max. If you wanted a cropped hybrid, their Blue Max is very similar, a little stiffer, a little sharper, super nice. '16 Honda Civic, easy, yeah, really straightforward. Civics are, I don't remember if it's got front quarters or not. But Civics are always in that, like, pretty straightforward range. So it's 122. So 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. We got quarter windows. We're wrapping up inside of 2 hours. Pretty good time frame. File sharpener for squeegee blades. No, we don't have any squeegee blade sharpeners. We should, though. A Pontiac G6. I couldn't get the door panel back on. Pontiac G6. You can take out the. I don't take out the bottom seal on those. I take out this seal. Goes all the way around the window. Makes it far easier to tint. And I leave the bottom seal alone.
And they go back into
Pontiac G6, Grand Prix, Saturn View. There was like a handful of GM cars that had the outer window seals pull out super easy. I love those. Okay, a little bit of water here. Third brake light. Let's zoom in. Look at that. You just see that brake light? Does that look nice? Of course it does. Do we have to pull it? Nope. Beautiful.
it's normal for me to do the whole demo.
Blue Max. Man. So the Blue Max has been around for a long time. And then there's a family that owned it. And the original creator of the Blue Max, I don't know who he was. I guess he passed away at some point, and the family kept making and producing the Blue Max. But somewhere along the lines, that stopped, and then it was very hard to get in touch. And so Fusion finally acquired the rights to the Blue Max, and so they have recently brought it back to life. It's super nice. I wasn't even a super fan of the original Blue Max. I used it for a while, but the other Fusion squeegees were just better. Is this gonna work? Can I see through with this? Oh, I can't see. Oh, there it is. Do you ever go back to pick the snap blades up? No, those stay on the floor. They get swept out when we clean the floors, which has been more than a year ago, so there's thousands of blades shining through. Do you ever leave your tools in cars? I think it's been a while. Oh, you know what? You know what we have been leaving in cars? Our seat covers. Dude, we joke about it all the time. It's like, don't forget the seat cover. And it's like, oh yeah, duh, I won't. And then you pull the car out and you walk back in and you're like, fuck, I forgot the seat cover. Or next thing you know, the customer's coming back in with the seat cover. We started with 5 of them and now we only have 1 left. They're that good. They fit so nice. And you honestly forget that they're there. All right, wrapping up with this one. We got a couple quarters to do. Why are you working when everybody's having fun? Because this customer scheduled an 11:30 appointment, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. You're moving too slow? Thank you. At least I'm still moving. Stainless? Yes. Yeah, we got stainless blades. Oh, I've left the seat cover in so many times. For sure. Do I have the right one? You know, that's something I don't know. Ooh, that would have been a fun mistake. This goes on the other side. I mean, they scheduled for 3 hours and we're getting them done in 2. So, if I'm just trying to breeze through appointments, my goal is generally an hour and a half without a windshield. So, live streaming it, taking a little longer, that's kind of the point. But yeah, it can definitely be done faster. Lots of people faster than me. Fastest I really ever got cars like this done was maybe like 50 minutes hand cutting everything start to finish. So that's like pulling a vehicle in, prep, cutting, installing, getting the vehicle out. Probably like 50 minutes. This one went fast. Part of that is the little cart that I'm dragging around with me. And then the less I walk around a car, yeah, less distraction. So like the amount of times that I spend walking around a car looking for something, like it happens so quick. But if I force myself to like just kind of generally go around a car and do less pacing and stay focused, things go faster. Reverse roll recorder windows? Probably. Does a glass aid make the back windows easier? I mean, I have no issues with it, but I've been using it for so long. It keeps the edges raised, and that'll make it trickier for people to understand. So like here at the classes, we encourage not using it, and like if you're shrinking your first back window, yeah, don't use it. But we also have practice cars here, so after you do that, trim away. I don't care if you put scratches in them. That's the point. Where's the gel? Oh, we just used it. I didn't use it on any of the doors, but I used it on the rest. Nice. Looks good. Is this amazing career being around different cars? I don't care about cars that much. I can appreciate nice cars and seeing the differences, little features from one model or brand, because we'll see like, you know, typically the entire lineup. And it's like, oh, the key fob is different on this one, or I like the screen in this one, or the backup camera is better now in this one. But I pretty much, like, I look at the windows. I just want to get it get it in, and do a nice job. Yeah, we're using gel. Okay, so we got a little bit of touch up.
I'll make sure, so when you're doing this part, you use
What is the gel used for? It's used as like a contamination barrier. Can we come up with a better term? So I'll tape side seals, and that helps with stopping felt from just bleeding into the window, right? And getting a bunch of speckles. It just helps. Obviously, your installation plays a factor into that, like just how consistent you are and just good at installing. But gel acts as a barrier, and it prevents shit from just running back in from the edges. So I prep everything the same way. I wipe it off, like I razor it, I squeegee it, and then I'm all ready to spray it with my slip solution and install it. But in between that, I'll take gel and I'll spray the edges. And that just acts as a little dirt barrier. And like I said, it prevents stuff from running back in. So I'll spray the top and side edges of back windows and windshields. And then I'll use the gel on the doors too. Let's see, I gotta get a couple towels, and then we'll be all set. Oh, I guess I'll use these. These are actually glass towels.
Just try both. Just make sure you go across the whole thing.
Have you heard about the nano carbon film? Which nano carbon film? Every carbon film is a nano carbon film. Yeah, every film company sells a nano carbon film, so which one? I mean, that's just what people refer to it as. Like, so a nano ceramic film, a nano carbon film. We just installed a nano carbon film called C2 ceramic. Iceborg? I haven't heard of Iceborg. But yeah, look into any window film company. They're gonna have a, well, most. I don't think XPEL has a carbon film. Oh, Iceberg. Yeah, it's just a whatever white label brand selling a film, selling a carbon film. So there's a few different types of window film. Carbon being a very popular one. It's not as high performance as a ceramic film. with night vision technology. Oh, you're getting played on that one. No, tint's not magic. You know how like dash cams have like 10 million different exotic talking points, and it's actually just a fucking camera? It's gonna be the same thing. You're just seeing like 10 million little hilarious talking points making it sound like it's magical, when in fact it's just a carbon film. Like, carbon's fine. I install it, it's my entry level film. Ceramics are gonna be a little bit better. They're gonna block more heat. But window films, unfortunately, are not. I mean, a little magic. A little magic with how they block heat, which is cool. So, like, the first time you ever see a heat lamp demo, it's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, it's a window film. I need my heat gun at the other side. Looks damn good. I like it. Is it hard to tint if you've never did it? Yeah, there's definitely a steep learning curve with it. Some people take to it pretty fast though. Like, if you're like, hey, carpenter me a table, I do a pretty shitty job my first time. You just learn things along the way. There's a certain level of skill involved. Some people are going to be better than others their first time.
Whatever you want to do as far as like covering the panel, covering the sills, it's all
Paint the pillars. With what? With a tint marker? I'll cut out some 5%. We'll use the PPF patterns. We'll do a 5%. Or some dot tricks. I don't have solutions for that. I tint windows. Yeah, that's nice. So the fronts are 35 and the rear are 20. Redo. I should have a Mountain Dew called Redo. My first table I made was great, but I'm artistic. I love details. Of course, there was somebody that literally made a table. Dude, I suck at woodworking. I don't understand how any of that works. I have to look at it way too long. If I were to make a shelf, it'd be a pretty shitty shelf. But I can tint some windows, let me tell you. I know my strengths. I sucked at window tinting in the beginning too, though. Took me a long time to learn. I felt more competent after a year, but it was like my full-time job, so. I got paid to learn. You like my coffee cup holder? It's nice. All right. Well, that's a wrap today. It looks very good. Would you make a thick, affordable gel? I mean, you guys just want Instagel to be thicker? I don't see why Instagel just can't come out with a thick version. They've already got their own formula. I gotta talk to Mike about it, but there might be a good reason why not. I mean, I won't say no, but it's definitely not on my timeline. Like, I don't know. I remember, so like I worked with Geo. Geo had contacts with a chemical company, and we developed Tint Slip together. They said they were working on a PPF gel a while ago, and then when I followed up with them about that, this was not this summer, but the summer before that, I think. So a little more than a year ago. They were just like, yeah, the gel's not working out. So, I don't know. There might be a little bit more to it, but for tint, we might not need anything crazy. I don't know. I saw gel becoming a hot discussion. I wanted to try it out. Instagel has been around for a long time, and I figured it probably was a safe bet to try it out, and they already were using it for window tint. It's already been proven for window tint. So we picked it up. No check engine lights. That's good news. We're gonna check this out outside. Should park cars over there. Make people walk too far. Got too many people here today. Look at that. Oh, it looks nice. I like the other ash. Really see water that's left. Really to see touch deterioration. Oops. Oh, where's that little edge? There we go. Pinch it. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna end things here. Thank you for watching.